Are you comfortable with the way that you've performed? Do you think you've done a good job online?
Well, this has been a remarkable year for all of us, I think we can say easily. And to understand the performance, I think you need to divide the year that we leave behind us in three parts. One is pacing well, and then hitting basically the closures of COVID and Corona, which was the most remarkable thing that ever happened. And then what we've seen is basically how the importance in life at home has been on the increase. And as such, we have been progressing well as we've been able to open up again.
You were also, though, opening sort of smaller city center stores as well. Like, is that still in the works?
It is. I would say the strategy in Ikea to become more accessible for people where they are, whenever they like, is the way forward. And if anything, this year with COVID has accentuated and also been speeding up that shift for us. So we want to be finding new ways of being there for people in the city centers through different types of touch points. Though still the big flagship store is the heart piece of Ikea, including is actually the place that serves home deliveries and fulfillment through our customer network.
So where does that leave online? Most businesses that have and are strong in online have done well during this crisis. Do you think that you've done? Do you think you're good enough in online to compensate to be able to spend more of a focus there rather than on stores, as you say, which remain very important to the group? I'm trying to get an idea of where you see the balance online and in physical.
Well, I think partly you could say online saved us during the closure period. We actually experienced about 75% of our stores in lockdown during 7 to 10 weeks during spring. And we were at that moment actually forecasting a record loss, which was a definitely new experience for us. But we're capable to actually recuperate that thanks to the online share. We went from 11% share of online to 18% by the end of the year, so it was definitely a leap. But then I think a little bit to put the channels against each other is a bit of old hat, to be honest. We are lucky to experience progress in our stores. We are growing, but it's really the combination where you can say that 4 out of 5 customers today use different channels, are not channel specific. So what seems to work for us is that we can offer the multitude of experiences for people.
How do you manage inventory, though? Not only the physical store issue, because I'm sure it was difficult to ship things transatlantic, but online inventory as well.
Well, definitely, it's been a roller coaster when it comes to operations this year, for sure. But I would say, in a way, you can say it's art by accident in the Ikea network, because we do about 60–70% of our deliveries goes direct to our stores. And since we have most of our range in our stores, that becomes a natural point and a very effective solution for fulfillment for us. So that's been actually to the benefit.
Do you think once we get through COVID, once we get a vaccine, once life returns to a semblance of normality, that you are going to see a significant drop in demand for home goods? Do you think people have bought all that they were going to buy for the next 2 or 3 years in the last 6 months?
Well, who knows? I think, if anything, we have learned about humbleness during these strange times that we're in. In a way, you can say, I think, and we think and hope that the importance of life at home has come to stay as a place for the family to be, as a place for safety, as a place also for for being together, for cooking, for eating, for living. We think that aspect of life will hopefully stay, but who knows what the future has in mind.
Well, you have to put money to work and invest, right? So how are you allocating your capital, and where does that correspond to areas of recovery that you're seeing?
Basically, in our model, we have been through the roller coaster when it comes to the finances this year. But we have, as we close the year, obviously we have been under pressure financially, but we have recently reaffirmed our plans, both when it comes to retail transformation, which means that our plans for the digital investments we are doing, the investments we're doing in new physical locations, old stores, new stores, is there. we have also been able to increase the speed in the investments we do in sustainability. As we think, in spite of all the respect for COVID, we think the climate crisis is going to have more challenges ahead of us, why it's so important to remain aggressive in investments in that field.
How much has sustainability spending gone up, and where are you spending that money? What am I going to see from Ikea that is going to improve your carbon footprint? Is it electric vehicles? Is it? I see you've opened a second-hand store. Kind of talk me through what the things you're doing.
Well, it is a comprehensive plan, so it contains many parts. As you to take a serious grip on climate, you need to address scope 1, 2, and 3 in your CO2 footprint. But the 600 million euro that we have added to the 3.2 billion euros already invested will go predominantly to renewable energy. It's going to go to forestry, carbon capturing, but it's also going to go to how we speed up electrical vehicles for home deliveries. Of course, a couple of services like furniture as a service. There we are still trying and testing different modules. So we will probably need another year to figure out what is the right formula for us there.